Zubimendi to Arsenal hints. This time around, Fabrizio Romano is going to hate to be asked lots of questions concerning Zubimendi. And Zubimendi was one of those Arsenal Arsenal targets that were linked to the North London's high during the January transfer window. And Fabrizio Romano, way back in January, told us that he knows, according to his information, Zubimendi still wants to stay at Real Sociedad and he will leave in the summer, not now. Now, after the January transfer window came to a halt, we obviously had to ask another big question. And that big question is one, what is the Zubimendi transfer plan to joining Arsenal or any other club? Remember, I told you that there are other two clubs that are interested in Zubimendi. I broke it down, and now we are back to obviously have a say with the man himself, that is Fabrizio Romano. Then we've gotten the director of football for Barcelona, that is Deco. He has come out and really broken the impossible replacement signing for Busquets at Barcelona. And lastly, we have a story coming in from Juventus, as they want to obviously get in Toni Kroos in the summer transfer window of 2024. How are you guys, and where are you watching us from? Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. This is Rokani. You can as well call me RD onto this YouTube channel, and this is the Football News Show. We thank God for the gift of life. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum, and everyone that is watching in through. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ, because Lord gives and takes, and we are all alive because of him. And each and every second you spend breathing, just come out and really thank the Lord for that, because a lot of people outside there are fighting for life, and he has gone ahead to grant us life. So that's why I'm really very happy for Allah and the Lord, because they all stand for the same. Now let's go and see what Fabrizio Romano has to say. I call upon for 200 likes, smash on this video and tell me exactly what your thoughts are about it. And don't forget to subscribe. You know, we want to hit 20,000 subscribers before the end of this month. Now, Fabrizio Romano has come out and said the following, that Martin Zubimendi is on Arsenal, Barcelona and Bayern list for the summer. At the moment, there is nothing more than this, as Zubimendi only wants to focus on Real Sociedad and he loves his club. He's fully focused on La Liga and the Champions League with no distraction at all. It will take time. There is nothing for February or March, despite some talk that Arsenal have already begun laying the groundwork for this deal. So, Arsenal is not alone for Martin Zubimendi, and this shows you that this player is of high quality. I've seen very many Arsenal players come out and obviously say a lot about the excellency of Declan Rice and how he has gone ahead to really become one of the best players or the best signings of the summer of 2023, and that is Declan Rice. And if you really look back in the work that Arsenal went ahead to obviously put into that deal, you obviously get to know that it is really worth it to fight for a signing like Martin Zubimendi. And when you look at Martin Zubimendi, a lot is at stake for him to obviously come through at Arsenal. And Arteta wants this player badly. He wants to sign him, bring him at Arsenal, and really see to it that he takes everything that he really thinks he's gonna really be holding at. Now, this guy known as Martin Zubimendi has come out and really shown his loyalty to the side of Real Sociedad. And he said, I'm not leaving in the summer transfer window of 2023 because teams really wanted him. Then in the January transfer window, he said, I'm going nowhere. I'm going to do everything to see to it that I keep this club to where it deserves to be. Then we have something else, and it's all about the summer transfer window. You know, he's focused on the Champions League, we all know that, but Arsenal have already been laying groundwork to obviously sign this player, and that groundwork came in through when I told you that Arteta has already gone ahead to start a dialogue with Martin Zubimendi, and Arteta has been talking to Martin Zubimendi for like 1.5 years, you get? Because Arsenal started targeting Martin Zubimendi in the December of 2022, and when you are to count from December 2022 to December 2023, that is 1 year, and then later we have months in already, meaning that Arsenal has been really talking to this guy and they've been jazzing with him for some long time, and they're willing to obviously see themselves go to where they want to get him in. So when you look at how this guy is really performing, that is Declan Rice, and the work Arsenal put in through, every Arsenal fan should be excited for Arsenal to tussle it out with teams like Barcelona and Bayern Munich, because that shows you the quality of this player. And Arsenal have gone ahead to identify Zubimendi and Douglas Luiz as the two midfielders they want to bring in, and we know why they want to bring them in. The energy, the intensity they obviously bring up on the field of play gives them the best of the juggernaut that Mikel Arteta is really building. And I told you, if you see Douglas Luiz, Zubimendi join that side of Arsenal, just get to know that it's already done. The juggernaut will be built for Arsenal. I've seen teams with very bad defenses, and Arsenal is not that team that has very bad defenders. If when Arsenal doesn't sign new defenders in the summer and they keep Ben White, Julian Timber, Tomiyasu, Jakub Kiwior, Zinchenko, Gabriel Magalhaes, and William Saliba, those are 7 defenders. So those 7 can help Arsenal do the needful. And don't forget, even Declan Rice can really play you as a right back. He can play as a central defender. You know, when you add on those two midfielders, Douglas Costa and Zubimendi, that's already a juggernaut, already built, that is going to obviously affect us, we who don't support Arsenal, because I just imagine that midfield of Arsenal with Martin Zubimendi and Douglas Luiz. That means that Arteta will have to come up with a system and he'll change it, because he'll have to put all those people into play. That means he'll have to shift to a 3-2-4-1 system, and in that system of the back three we'll be having Saliba, Benjamin White, and Gabriel Magalhaes. That is the 3. Now we go to the 2 in the double pivot. You'll be having Declan Rice and Zubimendi. Then you'll be having Saka onto the right forward, then Martinelli onto the left forward, then you'll be having Odegaard, and Douglas Costa into that central mid 4, then Gabriel Jesus leading the line, meaning that Zinchenko can also come in and invert, especially when you feel like you want to get out Zubimendi or Declan Rice and really play him in the midfield, because I think that's the best system that will ever bring out the best of Zinchenko. And he left Man City when Pep Guardiola had not gone ahead to try out that system. I think Zinchenko would have gone ahead to enjoy himself far better at Man City in the season of 2022-2023, when the manager went ahead to see it that he now plays with a 3-man central defense and a double pivot. And in that double pivot, if he had Rodri with Zinchenko in it, it would have gone ahead to serve a better purpose for him. And we are all out here to really take you to where we want to be. And for everyone who really enjoyed how Jorginho played against Liverpool, this is Zubimendi, who has all the composure that Jorginho has, the brain, or the football brain, and he really has more energy, because Zubimendi covers more ground than Jorginho, and we all know that with age, the ground you cover really reduces or shrinks, and Zubimendi is not gonna at any time really be stopped to obviously coming to this side. And I think he'll be convinced to join Arsenal, because I know one thing that Arteta is good at is convincing these players to come in through. And when he comes in through, a lot will be up for grabs and spaces will be there for him. Competition will happen. But I see Zubimendi and Douglas Costa coming through at Arsenal if at all Thomas Partey and Jorginho really leave. But if at all only Thomas Partey leaves, I think they'll go for Zubimendi. They'll go for Zubimendi or Douglas Costa, but they won't go for both. So that's it all about Zubimendi to Arsenal hint. Arsenal laying groundwork to obviously get in Zubimendi, confirmed us by Fabrizio Romano, and Barcelona and Bayern Munich are not seated. But for Barcelona, the person who wanted Zubimendi is Xavi, and he had already gone ahead to talk to him. Now, we don't know how far the sporting director of Barcelona, Deco, is interested in this guy, because he's really talking about someone else, and that someone else he's talking about to come through and replace Sergio Busquets is none other than Rodri. But you really get a little bit of fear in this statement that I went ahead to make. Let me first read you this statement and really give you my submission. Barcelona Sporting Director Deco: it's almost impossible to replace Sergio Busquets. Rodri is the closest, but Man City would never sell him to any club. Have you heard? Rodri is the closest, but Man City would never sell him to any club. So he's like saying, we cannot get Rodri. Rodri would have been the best replacement for this guy, and we cannot get him. Barcelona cannot get him. So that means if they cannot get Rodri, if they cannot get Rodri, then it's really gonna be hard for them to go out and really not get in a player. And when you look in Spain, I think the best CDM in the La Liga right now is Zubimendi. When you look at his game by numbers, it's really great. And what shows you that Zubimendi is going to obviously take it to the next level is this guy has been awarded very many, hear me out, he has been awarded very many man of the match performances in the games they've gone ahead to play in a team that has Taki. He's called Taki Kubo, that Japanese left forward sensational who plays on the right side of the attack midfield. You really understand the levels at which this guy is. This guy's levels, and he's really playing at a high level than what anyone will ever think about. So that's all about Barcelona, but they're also searching for a CDM because they wanted to bring in Ruben Neves. They never had the money. That's why Ruben Neves crossed to the Saudi side. Now as it stands, it's them looking for a replacement of Basque. Oriol Romeu cannot do the job, although he's good, but Basque was really a different kind of player. And you cannot tell me that a player who in his youth failed to play at Chelsea, a team that was in the same ilk with Barcelona by then, and went and proved himself at Southampton, is really good to play at Barcelona, And even Southampton went ahead to obviously sell him off to say to it that things don't go the way they want them. So it means they need to get in a best midfielder, and Zubimendi is being eyed by Barcelona. And I think Deco will have to get a lot of convincement from the board because he believes that was a signing of none other than this guy, Xavi, and it looks like they don't see eye to eye with Xavi. Let's talk about the other player, the midfielder. That is Toni Kroos. Toni Kroos is at a side called Real Madrid, and this might be his last year at Real Madrid, and Juventus have gone ahead to obviously show interest, and we've been told by Classio Marchetto coming in from Italy that Toni Kroos' agent has initiated discussions regarding his move to Juventus. Pre-Malibri negotiations have taken place between Kroos' representative and the Bianconeri regarding a potential free transfer to Juventus at the end of this season. That is it. So when you look at how everything is going to happen and really show up, it looks very important for Juventus. Obviously, build the experience around them. And I know Juventus is going to be playing the Champions League next season, meaning that you need a little bit of experience in your team. And then look at the speed at which, or the intensity at which, the league of what's the name of it? The league of it's called the Italian Serie A. The level at which it's played, you really understand that it is really very low, and it really helps him a lot as a player. And it has come to my understanding that this guy is not gonna stop, and Juventus will need him. Looks like he's not ready to go to the Saudi Pro League because Ronaldo is convincing him to obviously go and play in the Saudi Pro League, but he's saying no, I'm going nowhere. I believe this is still the best place for me to play. Even the Germany national team is convincing him to really get back at the national team to play the game of football, but it looks like he's not willing to obviously get back. But his main aim is to find himself in a better position of really getting where he deserves to be. And Juventus is a very good club for him. I think he can do some 2-3 years there, because in that midfield of Juventus, he's going to be the experienced player in there for you. And Juventus having problems of the FFP and wanting to dispose of players, they would love to get in a player on a free agent who can obviously dance with the tunes of the limited salaries that they can offer. But we wait and see how other teams are going to interject, because it's also said that Manchester City is interested in this guy. So he's going to be a cut cake. Teams like Chelsea might obviously show interest, because they might really want in a little bit of experience, you know. You might even see that Arsenal might let Jorginho go and say, over Toni Kroos coming through and play to the side of Arsenal. So a lot is yet to happen on this transfer, and this is what we all have to do and say about this. And may the living to God bless you abundantly. I call upon for reactions into the comment section below. Rokani David is my name. What do you make about Zubimendi to Arsenal hint, then Toni Kroos to Juventus, and Rodri, the next player that Barcelona are looking at, but they cannot get him. Though I believe there is room for them to get him. He's really a very good guy. Thank you guys for watching through. I'll sign up for now. See you later. Ciao, ciao.